Hi Space Cats, it's me Jules, and straight up I'm going to admit that I made a nose up of the intro, so I'm popping in some delightful animals so I can explain what the heckity heck is going on today. I'm doing reverse painting. No, not scraping paint off to reveal a totally white page, but reversing the way I normally put pigment and lines on a page. In other words, the black line comes last. I'm starting with a rough drawing, and that's quite important here because I need to plan roughly where the colour's going to sit. And I'm going to wax lyrical about Derwent Inktense colour pencils. They're watercolour pencils, although you can use whatever watercolour pencils you have. I like the Inktense because they are really saturated with colour. Even if it doesn't really look like it here, you just wait until that water goes on. They are pricier than other watercolour pencils, but it's worth it, I think, if you use them a lot. I actually started out just buying them individually. I think they were about £4 each, that's about $6 or $6.50. And it's useful because you can choose exactly what colour you want. However, buying a big pack will of course bring down the unit cost. Oh, by the way, they aren't sponsoring me. It's just my honest opinion on these pencils, and if you watch any of my other YouTube tutorial videos, you'll see me using them multiple times. Oh, and also, just to let you know, after some requests for merch, there are now Space Cat t-shirts available. You can find them on my YouTube page, and I'll link it to this video as well. Back to business. I've started off with the child figure first, because he is in the foreground and I don't want to muddy the colours around him. So my intention is to slightly offset the black lines when I come to draw them at the end. So I'm not being like really specific about where the colours lay. I chose this subject because in the UK it's the end of April, traditionally the time of year for April showers. But we are yet to see much spring weather. We've mainly had April torrential rain, more than showers, so I guess at least we're unlikely to have a drought this year. It really does feel like it's been a long, dark, grey winter, from the beginning of October until now, without much let up. It might have something to do with what we're going through as a family, as my husband got his rather dismal diagnosis back in October. However, there is promise of something springier coming, so all eyes are out for the yellow thing in the sky. And if you're trying to keep up to date with how things are going on the family front, all okay at the moment. Treatment's going quite well, and yeah, we're surviving it. I'm giving the underside of the cloud a bit of form. I've done a couple of videos on how to paint or draw clouds, the most recent one about scudding clouds. I love that word, it's so charismatic, of wide open spaces and clouds moving quickly. Then the rainbow, making sure I get the colours in the right order. Did you know that if you see a double rainbow, the larger one above will have the colours reversed? Honestly, you look the next time you see one. Now this is where the magic begins. I'm just using a tapered brush with clean water on it and making sure that I rinse the brush often, and very especially when moving on to a new colour. I mean, gosh, just look at it! I love this. This iris blue is particularly intense when you add the water. Using a big brush for the larger, grassier area, and really being quite slapdash about how I put the water on here. I'm moving that water around the page, but trying hard not to work on colours that are next to each other so as they don't bleed. I'm just letting them dry a bit in between. Oh, with the exception of the rainbow, which I actively wanted the colours to merge a bit. I'm carefully leaving some white space in the middle of the puddles to show a bit of reflection. Wait for the whole thing to dry properly, because next I'll be using a Papermate Flare pen, and that's not waterproof, so if it goes onto the wet area it will bleed and look horrible. As you may have noticed, the paper was a bit buckled, but I have a secret weapon when it comes to paper that's done that. I'll be doing a shorts video on that soon, but the gist of it is to wet the back of the picture with a spray of clean water and weight the picture down. 3 hours later, you have a flat painting. I think I actually prefer the expression on the rough that I did to start with, rather than this finished piece. But that's all part of the journey of making marks on paper. I can live with it. And there you have it. Tell me, are you daring enough to try this? It is very freeing and a great art exercise. Okay, I will see you next week. Nanu nanu.